with my friends, I would joke around, and it's not like I'm being racist. I
That's what. By the way, Naomi,
Okay,
that's what everybody
Yeah.
said.
That's what everybody said.
I'm not racist, but don't look at my friend group chat. Holy shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, you are highly at risk of being canceled, my friend. All right. With that answer.
I feel like everybody's sensitive to different things. It's really hard to figure out like if I could say this with that person or if I can't say this with that person.
I think it's actually a shocking amount of people who are genuinely convinced that the other side of like the political aisle is just full of all idiots, who they think the people on the other side are all stupid. It's stunning that many people on both sides actually believe that about the other side. They don't see them as intelligent creatures who think a different way. They think, oh, they're just all stupid. We're the smart ones.
I don't want to get canceled. I don't want you to get canceled. Whatever. Okay, listen. Let me ask the next question. This is so interesting, right? Because I don't know where the R word is in the lexicon. So it seems to me then, from what I'm hearing from you all, the fear of getting canceled is actually really... You all know what being canceled is, right? Okay. How often do you think about this? Being canceled?
Like me personally getting canceled.
Often?
Often. Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah.
Are you thinking about it right now?
Like, am I gonna get canceled right now? No. I wouldn't think like get canceled for like saying slurs or something like that. But I would say like sometimes my friend group and I like our group chat. If it got exposed, it might be like a little too much.
Okay, now I'm curious. All right. We're all curious actually, but that's all right. Okay.
With like a lot of political speakers coming to our campus for the election in the last like 6 months, I thought that is an opportunity for a lot more people to get canceled. And then also I thought, well, obviously I'm speaking to hundreds and thousands of people right now, so that's also an opportunity to get canceled. But I don't think there's anything I should get canceled for. So, but it could still happen. You know, someone could disagree with me that much.
Okay.
I think about it pretty often, especially being on like social media, but you say in comment sections. After I started learning about what a digital footprint is, I started like being really mindful about what I say.
And mindful about things you have said in the past that are still out there.
All the time. So like, cause you know, when you're a kid, you say things, so you think edgy humor is funny. Then you grow up and you have certain ideologies that don't coincide with that. So.
All right. So you think about it a lot. Okay.
Yes.
I think about it all the time, especially now too, because with my friends I would joke around, and it's not like I'm being racist.
That's what. By the way, Naomi,
Okay, that's
what everybody said.
That's what everybody said.
I'm not racist, but don't look at my friend group chat. Holy shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, go ahead. But you're also Taiwanese, right? Do you ever like?
Yeah.
Do you ever? Are you engaged in social media about Taiwan at all?
Oh yeah, a little bit.
But it would just be like one billion people in China who cancel you, so that wouldn't be a real big deal.
Yeah, just 1 billion people, not too many. But yeah, I think about it like all the time because I don't know. I guess speak without thinking too much because I think everyone's equal. And
Okay, so here's what I want to know then. So all of you are saying you think about it a lot. Like, dang, man. The crazy thing is, I never think about it. This is much to the great despair of my wife. But I grew up in different times. So how do you navigate the terrain of being canceled? How do you navigate it? Like, what do you do to help ensure that, I'm not canceled?
You should know like what should be considered cancelable and what's not. So I would say like it's just being.
But wait,
mindful.
but how do you know? Because it seems to me as it's changing. Wait, hang on. I'm going to ask it. How do you know? Let me just start with you.
Anything offensive, I guess. So anything considered offensive, I feel like that's how I know.
Dude, okay. All right. Dude, you are highly at risk of being canceled, my friend. All right. With that answer. Why do you think I'm saying that to him?
One reason is that like there's always going to be someone who finds like everything offensive. So if you just try to go through life never offending anyone, you're not going to succeed. And so I guess that's sort of how I've started to look at it more recently, is like, well, there's probably going to be someone who is really not a fan of what I'm saying, but I can't just walk on eggshells my entire life around every single person.
I'm gonna go back to what he was saying. Like, I feel like everybody's sensitive to different. My bad. I feel like everybody's sensitive to different things. It's really hard to figure out like if I could say this with that person or if I can't say this with that person, because there's some things I feel like, for example, when cancel culture started happening a lot of things like. I think Mr. Potato Head and Miss Potato Head got canceled.
Oh my God!
Because of that,
Did
and
they?
it's like it's not gender neutral or something, which is I don't know, like that's a kid's toy. It's just potato heads. If you want to take the female
It's a
hat
piece
off,
of plastic,
you can, like,
actually.
it's a piece of plastic. There's a lot of things can be canceled now. It's just constantly changing more and more. It keeps like, oh, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So how do you navigate it then? Besides, like you said earlier, look, I was teasing you about the group chat thing. Everybody has that, I mean, everyone has that. We make comments to our friends or whatever that we wouldn't make to other people, right? So I swear, I mean, I'm really talented at dropping the perfect F-bombs in different places, but I have taught myself not to do it in here. For a long time, I used to give myself one F-bomb every day. Every class, I just let myself drop an F-bomb, right? The F word, right? And then it was once a week. And then it was, 3 times a semester. And now I just hardly ever do it at all. Because I teach myself that, So what do you do besides what you said already?
I just go off of what I already know. Like, I know I don't know. Like, I just go off what I know. Like, if I know a majority of people don't like this, then I don't do it or I don't say it. Then I just go day by day, and I also don't talk to a lot of people. So it's pretty easy for me to just not get canceled.
So, Naomi, do you watch as other people get canceled? Do you watch them get canceled and say like, oh, I can't do that? Or do you calculate what it is, the things that people say and do that get them canceled?
If I gotta be honest, I need a friend. Yeah, usually when I chat with my friends, they would tell me if it's if I'm offending them or not, or if I'm offending a certain group or not.
Okay, so you when you're engaging in social media, but it's a smaller social circle. It's not to the whole world. You sort of rely on other people around you to say like, hey, whoa, watch that. Do you all have that? Is that similar to all of you? Do you have people in your close social network who tell you? So how does this fear, this concern about being canceled shape your online behavior?
I just don't post online. Don't post anything online.
I don't have social media. I don't use it.
So you don't do Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that?
No.
Oh, so for you, you really keep it close. Everything's close.
Yeah.
So for you, it would be one of your friends would have to take something that you said, and which could be very mild, by the way. Very, very simply mild. Like you might say something about Venezuelans and get canceled, and you'd be like, wait, hang on, I'm half Venezuelan. Like, what? That kind of thing. But your friend could post it, and then there would be a problem for you. But mostly, if that doesn't happen, that's not an issue. So, Zach, how about you?
I mean, yeah, I don't post like my opinions on the internet. That's just not something that really crosses my mind, that like I'm gonna put my political opinion or religious belief or anything like that on the internet, because there's just so many people out there that don't have good intentions. They don't want to have a good conversation about it. And so like in a place like this, I'm more open to being honest and sharing my opinions, because I think more people here are willing to hear what others have to say. But on the internet, you can't expect that other people are going to have like genuine good interests.
So you mean in a place like this, you mean in this classroom? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Michael, how about?
That shape how I have to be, especially like being here, like knowing that, okay, if I want to graduate and get a good job, I can't say anything overly ridiculous, because they could look into that. They could see your accounts and Also, I learned my lesson by getting warnings on Instagram and TikTok, almost taking my account down. So,
so it seems to me then, from what I'm hearing from you all, the fear of getting canceled is actually really shaping or controlling. It's putting guide rails up on the web for you. It's like, seems to me, like that you're always thinking about it. It's always out there. So you're saying like, hey, I gotta be careful, and that's actually a good thing. You're not out being a lunatic. Any thoughts on that? Do you see it as a good thing? Any of you actually?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to some extent. Like, obviously, when people are scared that if they say something outrageous, they could get in trouble, that's a good thing. You don't want them to think that they're just going to get off scot-free no matter what. But I also think that there's a line where, like, you should, as a society, we should allow people to speak their opinions more often and not want to go after them for that, and have a discussion with them, or even just turn a blind eye rather than go after them and try to get them like fired or something like that.
Okay, because there's a difference between saying something really outrageous and saying something that a small group of people find offensive. And it's like, wait, hang on a second. Like those are two different worlds. But in the world of offense and being canceled, it doesn't matter. And once it goes, it goes. It doesn't matter what the truth is, right? Do you have a response to that? Or Naomi, do you have a response?
I was gonna say, because I'm scared of being canceled, I couldn't be able to express my feelings as much. Like, I can't express like anything I want. I can't talk about anything I want. And there's a fear. Like I'm scared.
So it's just like you're always holding back.
Yeah, exactly.
How is that? Like it just seems so weird to walk through the world always kind of holding back, not being really who you are. How is that?
It's like, I guess, for example, now I feel like I'm a completely different person up here than when I'm with friends. Because I'm scared. Because I'm sure like a lot of people are watching this.
Summer's like shooting like still photos.
Yeah.
The cameras are going. There's people watching from different places in the world.
Yeah.
And people are judging at some level, right? I mean, it's different because people who watch this class, they watch it because they have a certain. They're curious. They want to know actually what you all are thinking. I guarantee there are they all want to know what you're thinking and how you're managing this. Yeah. Like the Michael that's sitting here is not the Michael that people meet out in the world.
I would say it's like a comfortability thing. Like when you get comfortable with people, you can kind of like show them like who you actually are, not in a bad way, but more so like just getting to know you deeper. But I think like staying more neutral on things, like that's what I do. I try and stay more neutral on certain topics because I know how some people are.
So even though you have opinions about them,
yes.
You're not going to share your opinion.
Yes.
So you're really not going to be honest. You're going to hold back. You're going to be like, do you all feel like that at some level? Like you're not being honest with.
I mean, like, what I was kind of talking about in social media is it's a lot of, like, sound bites and one-liners. So, like, in that situation, people are just going to jump on things here and there. But in a longer form conversation like this, I think even if you completely disagree with somebody, you can still kind of not hate them. You can just see where they're coming from and maybe completely disagree. But so, yeah, I was planning and obviously still am to be honest while I'm up here, but if I had to just give like a one-liner comment on some like political post, then I'm not gonna just like state my belief in one sentence and leave. That causes too much consternation.
Yeah, like I was contacted today by Reuters television asking if I would do an interview on January 6th, and I'm like, nope. Nope. Because I don't know what statement they're going to take out about January 6th. And I have a lot of cool things to say about January 6th that people who support Trump would think like, oh yeah, I agree with that. And I have other things I would say that people who dislike Trump would agree with. So, I would go like this all over the place because I have a lot of things to say, but I don't know what they're going to take. So that's just like, well, why am I going to do that? So do you have
I was gonna say that, like for example, like going with the politics, I would also be neutral with like a lot of things, not just politics. Like for example, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, oh, I voted Kamala, oh, I voted Trump, because I know half this class might be like, oh, she voted Kamala. The other half might be like, oh, she voted Trump.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that. And with everyone, I'm only gonna tell them like neutral, like, oh, I kind of just sit back. But then with my close friends, I will tell them like, oh, I actually support this, or I like to do this, or da 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 da. Because I know like most of the people around me tend to have the same sort of mindset. It's not like I'm pushing on them though. Like they can do whatever they want, but most people around me do have the same mindset as me.
So let me ask you this question: What do you, the four of you, think about people who just put themselves out there, man? They just like they're protesting this and protesting that, and they're throwing their opinions all over social media and everywhere. Like, what do you think about those folks?
I think if you're not doing it in a negative manner, like if you're going to be protesting or you're going to make an account online, like a fan page for whatever president you want, then it's okay. But I feel like there's some people that are kind of annoying. Like for example, I want to say when the election was happening, I went to El Jefe's and there was these two white girls preaching up and down about Trump and saying how all the Kamala supporters are stupid and everything like that. And I just looked at them. I'd never told them what I was supporting. And then they started like, oh, she's so mad. Like, look at her. She's stupid. I'm like, I didn't even tell you what I like. So what do you mean I'm stupid? You don't know if I'm a Trump supporter. You know if I'm a Kamala supporter. But they were doing that, and then they kept talking about how everyone is stupid if they're against them. It's just stuff that's negative that I don't like.
So that feels really ignorant.
Yes.
But you probably don't see that very often, right? Especially around here, or do you?
Well, around here.
I mean, on one side or the other, because the other side is, if you support Trump, you're an idiot, kind of thing. So you're probably more likely to hear that.
I would say I've definitely heard that a lot more here than I ever have back home.
Yeah.
So I think it depends where you're at.
Mm-hmm. How about somebody else? What do you think about people that are just throwing their stuff out?
I think it's actually a shocking amount of people who are genuinely convinced that the other side of like the political aisle is just full of all idiots, who they think the people on the other side are all stupid. It's stunning that many people on both sides actually believe that about the other side. They don't see them as intelligent creatures who think a different way. They think, oh, well, they're just all stupid. We're the smart ones. It's mind-numbing to me, but there are a lot of people who genuinely believe that.
Do the three of you agree with him that it's like really shocking how many people are like that? Dude, I just want to say, hey, stream people, just recognize that this is the college generation that you think, that so many people think have lost their damn minds. This is for random students in class, and most everybody in class is going to agree with what Zach just said. Stephen from the UK says, when you type a post online, do you read it multiple times to check for spelling errors more, or checking that you've not said anything that could be jumped on? Like when you guys post something, you don't post anything. Do you guys post things online, like on Facebook and stuff?
Sometimes, yeah.
Do you check to make sure that it's kosher?
Yeah, I usually do a double take and make sure I read it. But if I start getting negative comments on it, replies, I do take it down.
You'll take it down?
Yeah.
How many negative comments do you have to get for you to take it down?
That depends on the topic.
Uh-huh.
I've gotten a ton before, so that was an indication that not the time to say this. So
okay, so then it's just a matter of hoping it doesn't live forever.
exactly.
Yeah, I got you. Go. We have another question. Matt in Italy is saying, when was the last time you were confronted for something you said? How about that? Do you have an answer? When's the last time you were confronted for something that you said?
I think like freshman year of high school.
That's a long time ago.
My fault.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
I think so. That's the only time I can remember. That's the main one that I remember.
Well, how about something recently with your friends in the chat who said, hey, Maya, yeah, you can't say that.
I'm looking at her right now trying to figure out like if she's ever said something to me. No.
Yeah?
No.
Okay, freshman year of high school, though.
Yeah, I think freshman year of high school was the only time someone said like, "Oh, you can't say that," and it was I said the R slur,
Yeah.
and this girl looked at me and was like, "You can't say that," and I said, "What?" Like I grew up saying it. My whole family says it. Everybody says it. I don't know. It's just a way to say like you're dumb to me. And she was like, "No, that's really offensive to people with, is it autism? Is it
Yeah,
autism
yeah.
or
Well, any
something
kind
like
of.
that?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "That's really offensive," and I was like, "I don't get it. How? Like,
Okay.
that's just how to say dumb." And she said, "No, it's not like that. I have a brother with that." And I said, "Oh, sorry."
So then you didn't say it?
Huh?
Did you train yourself to not say it after that?
I mean, sometimes like it'll kind of come out a little, because like I said, it's something that's been in my vocabulary for such a long time. But I don't say it with everyone. Like, I'll probably say it like at home, and that's it.
So here's
But I'm
a
not
question,
gonna, like,
though.
I did have TikTok before it, but I wouldn't go online saying that on TikTok.
Okay, but listen. But you know it's offensive to some people. So now I want to just ask you. Can I put you on the spot for a second?
Well, I'm already here, so.
Yeah, you're already on the spot. All right. So you know it's offensive to some people, but at what point in time do you say, okay, I know it's offensive to some people, so even if I say it in the privacy of my bedroom to my dog, if I call my dog the R word, still it's offensive out there. A preponderance of people have decided that's offensive. So maybe I shouldn't even say it to my dog. Like, when do you get to that?
I don't know. Because I know it's offensive, but she's the only person in my entire life who's ever said anything negative about it. And no one else has ever said, like, "Oh, that's something you can't say."
Well,
Which I know, like, I meant, like, okay, hold on. I meant, like, in this area, for example, I've never heard
Yeah.
anybody in here say, like, "Oh, you can't say that," or just "our slur is a bad slur." I've only heard that on social media.
got you. Yeah, got you.
But, like, I don't know. Like I said, I kind of just guess I watch who I'm with and stuff.
Okay, well, so this is all of us learning right now, right? Because I learn all the time, because there are certain words that I learn not to say, and then I learned I should, like queer is a word that I grew up, you don't say queer. And then queer students started coming to me saying like, dude, you got to stop with the alphabet thing, you got to start saying queer. Because when you don't say queer, we think you're not really an ally. Like, you don't really get it. You're doing LGBT stuff. It's like, just say queer. And because you're comfortable, so we know that's a signal to us that you're part of the community. Like, you get it. So I'm like, all right, queer.
I didn't know that was a bad thing.
What's that?
I didn't know that was a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't know, but it used to be a bad thing. For your parents or my age, like, you'd never say queer. Okay? So then you have to learn. You're constantly learning, and I'm learning things. It's one point in time. I remember when I watched different words come through that you don't say anymore, and you just learn it. And sometimes people on my team and students are saying, they inform me, like, yeah, don't say that, right? So let me just, by a show of hands, I'm going to do this thing, ready? By a show of hands, how many of you feel like first off, how many of you do not know what the R word is? There got to be some international students who don't know. Seriously? Bro, you don't know? The R word? Yeah. Can you just say what the
This
R...
is on live.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Hang on.
Oh, word?
No, hang on. The R word. No, hang on. Here's the problem. No. I don't want to get canceled. I don't want you to get canceled. Whatever. Okay, listen. Let me ask the next question. This is so interesting, right? Because I don't know where the R word is in the lexicon. How many of you find the R word just pretty highly, like really highly offensive, and you really never want to hear anybody say it ever? Raise your hands really high. All right. So what? No, hang on. What's that? I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat the question? Yeah. How many of you find the R word really offensive and you don't ever want to hear anybody say it? Raise your hands. I just want to see. That's not that many people, really. I'm surprised, actually. Yeah, I'm surprised. Do you have a sibling or something? Wait, hang on. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah. Yeah, because you were like you have a sibling?
I do. I'm the oldest sister, and my brother is on the autism spectrum.
Uh-huh.
And I've had him my whole life. We're only 15 months apart. So he's a huge part of my life. He's like inspired me to go into disability rights. I want to be a lawyer. And I also work really closely with the deaf community and things like that.
So if someone uses the R word, you're just like, they're
just tell
talking
them,
about your
yeah.
brother.
I just tell them, like, listen, I get why you say it. I understand the context, and it's not meant to offend anybody. I just personally, because it's been used against my brother in front of me, and
Yeah.
big sister protective comes on,
Yeah,
I just
okay.
prefer not to hear it. But if people, with cancel culture, I feel like it's an opportunity for education. So
Okay.
I don't immediately go crazy.
No, I got you. Okay. So what's interesting for you, by the way, is not many people raise their hand. Yeah. It's like, okay. It's really interesting. And then the question becomes for you, right? Like 20 people raise their hand, and like so 20 people here then play a role in determining language for the rest of the room. It's like, and so then the question is that gives you a lot of power, and like, should you have that power to determine how 700 plus people use particular words? That's a question. It's like, I don't think so. I don't know. This is what the class is. That's what we're working on.